Good morning, everyone. It's Tim Hammye, and I usually introduce myself as Pastor Tim Hammye from First Assembly of God in Burlington, Kansas. Well, today I'm just going to introduce myself as Tim Hammye, and because I was driving home today, I clean the Joint Service Building in Coffee County with my daughters, and so as I was driving home, I was inspired to share this because today is October 19th and tomorrow is a very special day. And so let me just clean myself up here a little bit. Why is it so significant? October 20th is actually the day that was my fire. So 44 years from tomorrow was the day I was in a house fire. So as I was driving home, I was just praying, and the Lord just kept on speaking to me to share my story. And so I want to take this moment, and as you watch this, I would encourage you to stay and watch my testimony. I don't know who it's for, but I just want to encourage you throughout this time that it just be encouraged and let the Lord speak to you. Maybe it encourage you. Maybe you're going through some of the things. But October 20th, 1974, I was in a house fire. I was 4 years old, and I was stuck in the second story of an old farmhouse. And my face was burned. My left arm was burned. I lost part of my eyelid and part of one of my fingers. And so October 20th was a very life-changing moment for me. And in fact, I was stuck in the upstairs. I was taking a nap that day. My best friend, if I could hope, Donnie was, and I was playing, and then my parents told me I had to go take a nap. 4 years old, I had to take a nap. And so I went upstairs and took a nap. My brother was hanging out with a friend. My sister and my parents were downstairs watching ice skating. And I was taking a nap and the fire started. And there's many ideas why the fire started, but not sure. It's been posted why it was started. So that day was interesting. So I slept through it, and the plaster of the walls is what really burned me. So at that moment, when my sister came to check on me while I was taking my nap, the doorway collapsed, so she could not check on me. She ran downstairs, got my parents, and that's when everything began to take place, where the firefighters, the police, the ambulance were all called, and they were all on place and begin to rescue me, where my dad grabbed the ladder, tried to come in through their bedroom, which was off a porch, and to save me. And what I understand, I've learned later that my dad could hear me calling for help. And any father, I'm a father now, to hear a child cry for help is very difficult to understand. At that moment when I heard that was difficult for me to hear, that my father had to deal with that. So when understanding that, me being trapped in a fire, crying for help. So somewhere in that incident, they brought me out of the house, put me on because I was passed out, and beat my chest. And I was starting to code, which meant I was dying. And I guess I died for a time there. And that's at that moment, later I found out from my mom that's what I was called in the ministry. So I was taken to St. Catherine's Hospital in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where they worked on me to bring me back to life or whatever. And at that moment, my mom prayed a simple prayer that, God, if you want to take him, he's yours. But if you leave him here, I'll raise him up in the admission of the Lord. So at this moment, I just want to thank everyone who is a firefighter, officer, EMT, thank you so much for all that you do, because you have played an important part in my history of bring me to the point where I am today. So, as I was in the hospital, they had to transport me. At that moment, my parents didn't really have insurance, so they transported me by a hearse that were friends of my family. So I was transferred to St. Mary's Burn Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I stayed there for about 2 months. And in that 2 months, I went through a lot of, they called debriding, where they had to make sure I wasn't getting infection in my burns. I went through a lot of different things in that, but there at one moment there was a point where they had to wrap up my eyes because of my eyelid. They took a skin from behind my ear to make a eyelid for me, and so they wrapped up my eyes for a time for the healing to take place. And someone at that moment gave me a doll, and I want to tell you about this doll. This was 1974. A lot of different racial problems were happening at that in that midst. It was 1969. During that time of place. Well, by no means am I a racist or anything, but at that moment, someone gave me a doll, and I had my eyes wrapped, and so I've been looking for this doll. I had one, and a mouse got to it, but just a couple days ago, I ordered and I found one on eBay. But this doll, Rodney Allen Rippey, was the doll that I had long time ago. Not this particular one. Rodney Allen Rippey was the doll that I had while my eyes were closed or wrapped up. And when they unwrapped my doll, my eyes, I recognized that it was a black doll. So I threw it across the room. My mom picked it up and put it back in my arms. She says, "It shouldn't matter what color the person is. This doll comforted you through some of the hardest times, and that doll was with me for many years. In fact, I don't even know what happened to the original one. So I found this one on eBay, and so I bought it, and now we're going to do a shadow box. But what's so important about my story is really not that I've been alive for 44 years tomorrow, but what God has done in my life since then. We all have to make decisions, and I always thought about, I might have scars on the outside of my life. Many people have the scars on the inside of their life. And we all need to understand that healing needs to take place. And I want to encourage you that Jesus wants to heal you of the scars that are on the inside. You may be going through something and you don't want to really deal with it, but you know that you're hurting, but Jesus has the answer. You might have tried a lot of different things. Growing up, I would stand in front of a mirror and say, "God, why did you make me this way? Why did you allow me to go through the things I went through? Why did you allow me to go through the fire? Why all this stuff?" And you may be asking those why questions. And God would just ask me to do this morning, to answer that why question. Sometimes it's just to make you stronger, and sometimes it's just that to build your faith in Him. Try to turn it around. Why are you going through that? I'm not sure, but God is there to help you through. He's never left you nor forsake you, and He's right there with you. One thing I do know, that I've been in a fire, and God sent His only begotten Son for each one of us. His name is Jesus, and in there is a place. We will all spend eternity someplace. We'll all spend it in heaven or hell. And that is a choice that we're all going to have to make. And so I pray that you understand, I've been in a fire, and the fire of hell will transform you. It will burn. It will hurt. It will be painful. That's what the Bible says. But heaven is a glorious place. So we need to understand that this point where we need to make a choice, and you need to make a choice, that will you live for Christ or will you live for the devil? and that is where we're at today. But I would encourage you that if you're just starting to watch now, if you go back and watch this video, this is my testimony that tomorrow, October 20th, 1974, was the anniversary of my fire that I had. And I just feel like I wanted to share that today. And so you understand where I'm coming from, but I want to understand that if you don't know Jesus Christ, you can have a bright future of where you're going to go. And so I just want to encourage you to watch this. If it inspires you, as a comment on top of it, if it inspires you, please share it with somebody else. If you know someone that's going through stuff, please share it with somebody else. If you need to message me, go ahead and message me in Facebook. I would love to hear if this helped you, encourage you. Like I said, I just felt the Lord wanted me to share this today. I'd share it tomorrow, but I'm at a training tomorrow. But just wanted to encourage you. And if you need to talk, go ahead and message me. If you want to email me, you can email me at b1agks@gmail.com. Well, have a great day. God bless you. Thank you for watching. I hope this has encouraged you, inspired you, or helped you in any way. Have a great day. God bless you. Love you guys.